Okay. Hello. What's up, Corn? I might be less chatty this stream. All good. No worries. How's it going? It's going good. Yeah. Um, doing a world tour today, which I can't remember when we did our last tour on stream. Probably like day 5000, I think. It's been a while, I guess, in terms of days. Day 3000? There's no way. No, there's no way it's been 4000 days. Is this door? Okay, good. I was gonna say, is that door broken? Hopefully. It will remain that way, unbroken. But yeah, I thought, why not? It's not like a special day milestone. It's just end of year world stuff. So we're gonna look around the world, mainly Lightborn, but we're gonna look at other stuff as well, and just talk about what's happened this year with the world. Obviously, I kind of I started the world last year, but I never really did much of it. There's a few structures that I made because it was towards the end of the year that I made this world, and so that I basically didn't really do much, right? It's mostly this year where I've actually kind of built a lot of stuff and done a lot of stuff with the world. Um, so like present day, there's not really much stuff that's still standing from a year ago. Obviously, I didn't do a tour last year, but what's been your biggest motivator for the builds? Um, well, first of all, we're going to talk a lot about motivation when it comes to this world and stuff. But I think the drops have helped. Of course, it's raining. Um, the drops have definitely helped with motivation. I think, which is kind of surprising, but it's also kind of shaping the village around like what I wanted it to be a town. So just building stuff that the town needs and stuff. Um, but yeah, motivation's going to be a big part of this because my cat's just swallowed two treats at once. What's up, Slime? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I'm probably going to wait till it stops raining, or becomes night, or both. So, okay, so the first place which we should really start at is spawn. And if you want to know where spawn is, I didn't do anything fancy with spawn this world. In my previous world, I had like a little cabin because it was in the snow biome. Spawn is here. This is spawn. Um, yeah, obviously for the better, for the whole entire year, basically up until December, there was nothing at spawn. Um, but we're just gonna start with spawn first because it kind of makes sense because this is where the world kind of started, right? Um, but yeah, obviously I didn't really know at the beginning of the year. I thought I wanted to do something with spawn, but I didn't know what. And the hotel didn't really come into fruition until the latter half of this year. I didn't think about doing hotel at all. Um, this building is definitely the hardest building or structure I've probably ever made. A lot of stuff went into this. I had the resources, thankfully. Like the wooden, like the getting the resources was easy. That was the easy part, right? But the planning and designing and putting into survival was very difficult. Um, yeah, like a lot of people like may have thought, oh, he'll do like a little garden at spawn or something. Maybe Lightbourne Tower was going to be at spawn. I don't know. Um, Lightbourne Tower is that, by the way, the Big Ben. Um, but I don't know. I didn't really want to do like a fountain or fancy build at spawn. So this hotel serves an actual purpose. One, I wanted to build a hotel in Lightbourne, or in general. I've never built a hotel before, so this is my first time. You'll hear me say that a lot. This is my first time doing this, or this. Like I've done a lot of firsts in this world this year, and like I said, this took forever. I think I'd done it layer by layer, so this layer, that layer, that layer, and it got easier the higher up I went. Do you feel like the time spent was worth it? I do. I mean, it serves a purpose regardless. So, um, this took just. By the way, for context, this may be a long stream because I'm not gonna rush or I'm gonna try to cover everything. So I'm gonna be very talkative this stream. Just a fair warning. Um, I remember really struggling with this, like the lobby area. I just didn't know what to do with it. I had no idea. I knew I wanted to split it into 3 sections. So there's obviously you've got the lobby and you've got 2 restaurants either side. The restaurant idea didn't come instantly, but when it did, I was even more puzzled because I didn't know what to do with it. Um, so I just didn't. It took forever. I think I did this first, maybe. And then the lobby. God, this took so long to design. Stuttering. It went through a lot of renditions. I think I originally wanted to do glazed terracotta. But I think andesite and lodestones work really well. Obviously, we've got gold as well. A little fish area, which is quite nice. I had to change my aquarium to accommodate this because I wanted the fish to be a part of the hotel. But yeah, I have an old screenshot of this that I haven't shared. Like a very old screenshot of the hotel, and it looked awful. Like it just didn't. I would have hated seeing that every time I walked in here. So to explain the hotel, I need to explain like the thought process behind this. So recently I made a coffee, and if you don't know what it is, Ko-fi is a way to donate to I don't know, like streamer, YouTuber, whoever, and kind of get something from it, right? And the hotel was an idea that I already had the idea of using the Ko-fi for this before I even made the hotel. The idea is that people that donate get to change their room completely. And there's a few, well, I say a few, there's guidelines on what you can't use, like illegal blocks and stuff like that, obviously. But for the most part, the person has total freedom over what they can do with this room, and the top room as well. Obviously, if the time comes where all the rooms are taken, there are other ways for Ko-fi supporters to be a part of the world. But this will be the main one because it's the first one, right? Yeah, so the hotel itself was. I never really thought it'd be this big, but this is how it turned out. So all the rooms do have a design. This is like your basic design because obviously, if no one donates, it's fine. But I need this to have a room anyway. It's like I needed to have some kind of interior. So a part of this that actually was one of the last parts I did was make an elevator from this floor to the top floor. I had no idea how I wanted to do this. It took a while to figure out. Um, we have a staircase, right? But I didn't want to do a second staircase because of the way the hotel's designed. It wouldn't have made sense. Yeah, the Ko-fi announcement will be soon. The Ko-fi is launched, by the way. You can donate if you want to with the Twitch link. But I've not formally announced it. It is out technically, but I've not really talked about it. These are the bigger rooms. Only difference here is you've got more space and more stuff to change. There's no like price difference because I believe it's the same as a Twitch sub. There's no price difference or whatever. These are still broken. I've worked on other stuff, and obviously Christmas has happened, so I haven't really focused on this. These are still broken, but these are basically like shops and stuff. Yeah, it might be a little bit more depending on where you are. Hopefully not too much. But yeah, lighting as well was something I didn't really know what to do with because like this obviously it's such a big structure. How do you light up everything? The copper bulbs work a lot. I don't think I used them prior to this, and now they're everywhere in this build. Like they are the main light source. Candles obviously as well. I've not really used that much. They don't really fit in my village. So, well, the center part of the village. So, yeah, hotel. I'm quite proud of it. I was so chuffed to finally be done with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I really did struggle with this build. Because obviously, if people are paying to be a part of this, I have to make it look as good as possible. But yeah, I think it's done well. And that's kind of the aerial view of it. It's huge. But back to, I guess, Lightborn. Lightborn gained its name, I believe, this year. The meaning behind Lightborn is that it's the village that has given birth to light in the world, because my lore of the Minecraft world is that it is dead. I believe that the Minecraft world, something's happened to the world that has made it almost like we are playing, I believe, just after a apocalypse happened, because there are villagers and there's life. So something's happened between the apocalypse and now that's given life. I don't know what it is. You came up with that, yeah. So this year, would rather stay there in the Woodland than the Woodland Mansion. That's good, yeah. If you hear me pause, I'm just drinking because again I'm gonna be talking a lot. This has tie-ins with my previous world. Obviously, I made a lore connecting that world to this one. That village, or those villages, because I had multiple, were all wiped out. And this is basically the idea of not making multiple villages, but one massive village. And this is my house. This originally wasn't like this. I made a few houses. One was actually roughly here. One was here. And they took inspiration from my previous world, but they just did not look good. As the world kind of shaped around my old houses, I realised this doesn't look good. It doesn't suit what I'm trying to build here. The lighthouse is one of the oldest builds in the world. It is roughly 150 days in to the world. Now this design isn't, but the actual lighthouse itself has stood here for over 7,000 days. I always build lighthouses, and the old one, again, wasn't good. it was made out of wool, and I originally thought this doesn't. I don't think a lighthouse made out of wool makes much sense. The redstone lamps as well wasn't good enough. There was some issue with it. I believe what was it? It would flicker on and off if you were farther away from it. This lighthouse is always on, always. The shape as well is a lot more sensical, right? It's just better. It's just better, right? Now I've made this house, my house, basically the same as every single other house because I don't want a special house. The time for me to make my own unique place will be soon, but not now. So, whilst the interior is different, the exterior is identical, except for torch flowers. But I'm gonna make a castle, so I don't need a special house. Obviously, this is my storage room. These are like traditional storage rooms. My old one, or old world, had a redstone storage system, which didn't look good in my opinion. So I went back to this in my old one, and then again made this. It's nothing fancy. It does the job. Like, I didn't do item frames this time around. I think in my other one I did do item frames, but this is blocks, and if I need to do item frames I will, but yeah, I just prefer this. It looks a lot cleaner. And there's one more space for blocks, which will be interesting. Will that be claimed next year? It's something I do think about. How my chest room will turn out after each year. I did think about this last year as well. Even though there was far less items last year, I did think about, what I would do. I really didn't know what I'd do with pale wood, because obviously there's a gap, right? And then there's sand. I could switch this over. Pale wood is there, so I'm not going to be the vault. I have an idea of what I'm going to do in the future, but the vault stays for now at least. Again, there's nothing special here. Like, I've collected all these items. It's all good, and these are mushrooms, I think. Yeah. These are new additions, though. This as well. I wanted to do something like this for a while, but never knew how to execute it properly. Obviously, we've got like a bin as well, because I'm down here a lot of the time, so. And in here, got all our animals. Every single dog variant for now. Every single cat variant for now. And some fish. Random fish, not really anything in particular. But this fish kind of reminds me of Ukraine, so. And horse armor and stuff, or dog armor and stuff. Obviously, this is very new because I had to get all the dogs in and stuff. I didn't have many dogs at the beginning of this year. It was only until like day 6,000 before I killed the dragon I got every dog variant. Every single fish variant. That would drive me insane. We do have like excess blocks, like the stone and cobblestone. We're actually running low because I've moved a lot of stones somewhere. So, interesting. Update chest, empty for now, but that was weird. Wait. Huh. That chest is large chest, and that chest is next update prep. Huh. Yeah, I made my world, I believe it was during the Pale Garden drop. Slightly before. Yeah, I made it during not Mounts of Mayhem, the bundles of bravery, and it was gonna slowly, like, we were etching towards Pale Garden era. But yeah, this is normally full of stuff, but we are waiting for the next drop, which I wonder what it'll be. What day did you make a world? I can't remember. I probably got it written down somewhere, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm a bit of a collector, so I've got all the music discs as well in here. I love having all the music discs in my house. Another old structure. Oh, by the way, signposts. Finally, they made their debut. I made these like a few days ago, I think. There's a few. There's not too many. But there's actual like signposts. There's not any street names yet. There's only going to be like 2 anyway, for now. But there's signposts. I made these like on the 23rd, I think. Very cool. Obviously, we've done some pathwork design as well. We've got dead coral, so that's also new. But let's take a look in the library. This build, oh my god, I remember remaking this. Again, another build that I remade. The old library was not it. It just wasn't. The world got older. I still have the old library on preview, so I know exactly how it looked. But it just wasn't it. And I wanted to remake it. I didn't know how to. I think the issue I had in particular was the roof. I had a very coned roof, and then I said to myself, and then as I was doing the roof, I was like, I need to remake the whole thing. So before I made this roof, I was like, I need to make the whole thing before I make the new roof, and that is the product of this. It had to go eventually, and I'm glad it did. Because the library is still probably one of the best structures in Lightborn. It's no longer one of my favourites, but it's definitely one of the best. I just think it's like the epitome of what a library should be. It has my enchanting room as well, which I think is really unique. So, Stronghold's library doesn't have anything on that. Little enchantment book as well. I thought it was quite nice. Take a little aerial view of it. Yeah, it's sick. You can see it from the ocean as well. So, it's nice and tall. Yeah, the last library had the enchantment table here. And that was it. You had like that layer, no like other layer. It wasn't as open, right? As far as I can remember. Then we have the art gallery. This I always have struggled with building art galleries. Always. And I did not know what to do with this. There's not much to say. I've collected all the art paintings for now, because you'll notice these are all placeholders, because they're going to add new art, I believe, next year. I think that's a easy prediction to make. I don't know. I like having art. Like there's certain. I've said this on stream a few times. There are certain builds in the Minecraft world I really like to have in every world, and you are missing a block. And a library is just one of them. So there's really not much to say. I struggled a lot. That's all I should say. I struggled a lot with this. I believe this got redesigned as well. I believe. Because I remade the library and thought to myself, I can't have the old art gallery here. So you'll notice as well the roofs are very similar. But they're flipped with the block set, which is quite nice. But the roofs are very similar. It's just to pay homage to the fact that I made one after the other. Twitch glitching now. When is it not, honestly? An old structure that has stood the test of time, apparently, that I'm never going to change, apparently, is the Map Observatory. Again, another build I love to have in a world. I think we've just done we did have one map at the start of the year, and we've expanded to 8. The only reason why it has iron doors, by the way, is because from my previous world, I had every important building with iron doors. And also, I had originally a lot of mobs around. Obviously, no mobs can spawn in this area at all. So I don't need to have iron doors anymore. So it's very likely I will choose spruce. And go rid of the buttons. It is something I've been thinking about recently. But yeah, I've upgraded a lot of old structures. This has not changed at all this year. At all. I think I made this last year. This hasn't changed at all. Nothing's changed about it. I struggled, again, a lot with it. I remember with the shape. Well, no, it has. It has changed. It has changed because originally this entire area was maps. Like item frames. Now, one, I would have never, ever filled all those maps up. 2, it would have been laggy. With the amount of item frames on the ground, no. So we simplified it. I think this looks way better. I may not even fill up all these maps. I may change this again. Who knows? But, this is just infinitely better. Two other old structures. The wall house, the dye house. This, I'm telling you, originally, the old building of this was the worst thing I've ever made. The worst thing I've ever made has been in this world. It was just awful. It was awful. And now it looks like this. I like it. I don't really go a lot in this. But I like it. It serves its purpose. And I really enjoy it. I like the colour of it as well. I really wasn't sure about the colour, but I think it makes it stand out because you kind of want it to. Right? Because the old one, like you say, Corn, didn't stand out at all. Like, it wasn't memorable. The roof does that a lot, I think. I remember making this originally. This, again, was originally an old build of my previous world. It was like a tower with a small house attached to it. And again, I ran into the issue of it doesn't make sense anymore. It just doesn't. Again, had an iron door, and it just didn't I didn't like it at all. Now it looks like this. So we have a few armor sets here. We have a full leather armor with netherite, silence trim, rarest mineral, and rarest armor trim. We have the set that we killed the dragon with, which is quite memorable. Obviously, we done this when the Copper Age released. we said to ourselves, we'll do it with copper armor because why not? It's the only time we're going to be able to do this. Because, spoiler alert, we're not making a new world in the new year. So the only time we'll be able to kill the dragon for the first time with copper armor, or like a new armor set. So there's that. And then we just got like enchanted armor sets like blast protection, projectile protection, and fire protection. Above, we've got the armor trim business. So we've got the blocks that you need to duplicate the armor trims. You've got the minerals you need to duplicate armor trims. This is all the netherite I have, by the way. I don't have any netherite in my chest. I put all the netherite I have into this chest. And of course, all the armor trims, including netherite upgrades. I like to stay above 16 with all my armor trims. It's just a nice number. Someday I'll get a lot of netherite. Someday. Is there any older structure? Because we got to pay homage to the old structures first, honestly. Let's pay homage to this. The Villager Trading Hall. I think this was one of the early builds on stream. By the way, just side thing, have you guys noticed something? Wow, it's no longer connected. Finally. Originally, the potato farm, which we'll buy, and the melon and pumpkin farm were connected to the trading hall, which I didn't like. I never liked, actually. They're connected, but I was always busy with other builds. Recently, I've been doing odd jobs, so now there's a gap. But we're not looking at the farms, we're looking at this. Oh my god, every single one of these villagers is a zombie villager. Every single one. And it took a while. It's actually are all these. The farming ones are. The library guys are. The no, they all are. Yeah, they all are cured. The curing took a while. I don't think I had a gold farm. Or the gold farm I have, present day. Which, by the way, produces me too much gold. So, the next time, fun fact, spoiler alert, I'm making another one of these next year. It's going to be for the weapons and stuff. So, it's going to be a lot easier to make. But so the way I built this is actually interesting. I made the interior first, which I've never done, but I didn't know what to do with the exterior. So then I shaped the exterior around, added the glass pillars to connect the two blocks together, and build it from there. The trapdoors were, I believe, a suggestion from Osiris, who I know pretty well. She gave me the idea for these. I wasn't going to use them for some reason. But yeah, this is basically the backbone to my world, I'd say. Without this, I'd probably be screwed. They're very spinny, aren't they? But yeah, they're all maxed out as well. Every single one is maxed out. I did that this year, because obviously last year they weren't all maxed out. And this year, they all are. So mending, for example, 1 emerald. And they all have at least one chest, one single chest filled with enchanting books. Some of them have two, like a double chest. Those are like the important books, but the majority of them are just one. I actually took the day 1000 screenshot, like, here I think. Was it like here? Roughly. So, pretty good memorabilia there. We're gonna sleep. Yeah, we took another screenshot like day 5000. What was it, 6000? I don't know. Two other, I don't know if you can class that as a structure, but two other old structures. The Witch Tower. Oh, like, I was not sure about this originally, because I knew I wanted to remake my old witch brewing area, or it wasn't a witch area, brewing area. It was just a hut, basically. It was my rendition of what a witch hut is, right? It was arse. It was not good. I'm noticing a theme here, I think. All my old builds were terrible, basically. But, yeah, this is just really good. There's no, like, bad lore with this. There's no, like, it's haunted or whatever. It's just, like, a design of, like, what a witch, just a witch tower, I'm saying that because in my old world, I had something like this. And it had bad karma and stuff. This doesn't. This has no bad. It looks intimidating, I know. But no one in Lightborn is terrified of this. So. But yeah, I think I originally had this as one of my favourites. Got a really interesting way to enter as well. It's quite nice. And we'll see if this has... Yeah, it provides healing potions and all that kind of jazz. We'll see if potions get a revamp next year, like I think they will. Because this may be affected. Who knows? Who knows? But it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. All these little, I guess, towers, pillars, have stuff going on. So you've got glass bottles, you've got the potion ingredients and stuff like that. And then you go upper floor, and you've got just extra storage if you need be, and nether warts. You could have another potion-based build. We definitely could, yeah. Obviously brewing stands because they're necessary, right? Got all the nether warts. This is my nether wart farm. Nothing fancy at all. I've raided this about 5 times. I'm not even like I barely brew, so if potions, my prediction when it comes to well, the thing is, Corn, I want to make a bar, and honey and healing and stuff like that will be a part of it because they'll be on shelves, right? So these will be a part of it, the potions themselves. But yeah, I do think next year potions will stack. I think. So if that is the case, I'm going to be in here a lot, right? So I may, when they announce like a potion update, I'm going to stock up on this like crazy. But for now, I don't see the need to. Yeah, I like a red never break, yeah. It's quite nice. But that's it. This build. This was, again, one of my first builds. Surprise, surprise. If you didn't know. and I searched up like Nether portal designs because my last Nether portal was a like just a bigger rectangle but with like a cobblestone outline around it, overgrown. And I remember you suffering a little. Link, yes, yeah, I did suffer. Um, I'm just checking. Okay, good. Um, I went on like Google and searched, and I basically just made a one for one. This is basically one for one. So this design is not mine, but you'll see the design that is mine. Um, we can't look at this without seeing the other part of this, right? This design is mine. It wasn't part of the original design. I wanted to make the same thing, but flipped, using both wood types from the Nether, and it's come out brilliantly. And obviously, this is my Nether hub. I wanted to incorporate all 4 biomes, and we've got a few extra rooms. The wasteland is out there. You've got a torture chamber in there, and you've got my bartering farm. If you do not have a bartering farm in 2026, you are missing out terribly. But, you know, you do you. I think everyone should have a bartering farm because of the supplies they give you. Just handle these little gremlins. But yeah, because of the supplies they give you, like ender pearls I needed at the beginning, leather. This has been my main source of leather. I've got so much leather now because of this place. Obsidian was really good for that. Quartz, this was huge for quartz. I've mined barely any quartz in this. Dried ghast as well. And iron, actually, like, it does give you a lot of iron. Like, it adds up. But we're not here for the Nether hub. We are here just to show off the portal. The Nether hub itself, I think, was an early-ish build. But there was a long time where this portal was just here. Like, not even designed either. In terms of old builds, Let's go back to the main area. We have a little bakery. Again, just a build that makes sense for Lightborn. Right. Really simple. But I quite like it. It's quite cozy. And the baker literally lives here as well. This one was finished off stream. Yeah, I built this a while ago. The only change I've made recently was the deep slate fences and the deep slate roof, because it was originally stone. And again, the world shaped around it, and I was like, this doesn't look good anymore, so I might even change the cobblestone. In fact, it's pretty likely that this becomes deep slate in the future. You did, I think, the wooden texturing on the top floor? Yeah. Town Hall. So this does have a purpose, right? It has my goals and objectives. So over here, we have the long-term objectives. So far, we have Lightborn is the entire forest. We live in a forest, right? I want Lightborn, the town, to be the entire forest, which seems daunting, but we've made a lot of progress this year. So, Neverite Beacon, which I'm putting off until I become like ill, and the End will be colonized, which could happen next year. To be honest with you, and then we've got free tests, which are just placeholders. What's up, Crafty? How you doing? Welcome back to the stream. I don't think I'm going to be in the spruce area now. The prison's only in the spruce area because I don't want the prison to be in Lightbourne itself. And then with the objective board, so all three of these are blank because these are previous tasks that we've done. And the three left, before we remake the other 6, are Pathway Detailing, which is almost done actually, the Pale Garden Research Facility, and the Prison Build. So that'll be interesting. What do you do, goals in 2026? I would like to stream more. We're going to go on a bit of a detour in a second. I would like to stream a little bit more. But in terms of being online, I don't really have that many goals. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe branch out from Twitter. We'll see. But this year I streamed 197 hours, and I had 143 streams, which isn't that bad. I streamed 128 days distinctly, so that's 128 unique days. And I watched almost 800 hours. What world goals do you have? I'll never tell. You'll find out soon. And by soon I mean next year. You can try and get the achievement for streaming 25 out of 30 of the past days. We'll see if your fan gets parity. That's all I'll say. What was one thing you're proud of accomplishing in 2025? I think Twitch affiliate is a massive one for me personally. I think building back up my Twitter account because it was hacked is a big one as well. So, and obviously there's IRL things I've accomplished as well, which I'm quite proud of. But those are the things online, at least. Let me sleep. Yeah, I haven't tweeted, I'm going to tweet this out soon. We've surpassed, I believe, my old Twitter account's followage. Because, and it was roughly this, we had roughly the same follower count, but I've surpassed it, I think. So, and this build, oh my, if we talk about builds I didn't like, this build was awful. Little workshop area. Again, I didn't really build much. I didn't really use this structure much. I mean, it's just nice to have, Nice cozy vibes. Wish you all the best in 2026. Thank you, Crafty. You too, man. I will be here, online still, so I will still be tweeting offhand stuff and all that kind of jazz. Obviously, I'm not disappearing till next week. I am going to be on Twitter. It's just the last stream of the year. So. But yeah, I remember, I think the old one had crafters. Here, you get the idea, right? And it just didn't... I wanted to have crafters in the world, and it just didn't look right. So... No more Michael for 4 days? No. Only reason why I'm streaming, not streaming closer to, 31st of December is because, you know, people are celebrating and that kind of jazz, you know. But I am ready in here, but I do like this. And I am glad I remade it, for sure. Will try to stream more. And I do want to, like, I do. I do want to. Um, the farming area, I guess. I was quite proud of this area when I first made this. I took inspiration from someone actually that I don't get on with now, but I was really inspired. I really liked his farm design, and I was like, I want to remake this. So I kind of stole his idea, which you know sucks. But I've always wanted to make this kind of farm design. What did I originally? Okay, my farm design was literally, if this is my house, imagine a like 9 by 9 grid here with wheat seeds. That was my farm for the longest time, and occasionally I'd replace it with like carrots. I made it a little bit wider, but that was my farm for a very long time. I think I did that to stock up on seeds to eventually build up to this. The sheep farm. Oh, the sheep farm was, yeah, not good. Better now, fun fact. But I'm really proud of this. Still, I really enjoy this area. We've got a little farmhouse here, which is purely aesthetics. I don't use it for anything, right? But I don't know. Like, it looks nice. Yeah, yeah. I don't use fortune on my farmers though. If you're seeing, by the way, empty item frames, they're clocks. But for some reason, the latest update doesn't like clocks. I also added these little lights recently. Around Lightborn, you're going to see like carpets, like moss carpets. This is basically brown carpets with glowstone. Just extra light, you know. This area was my previous chicken farm, or chicken coop. I need to remake a new one, but I don't know how. It might be here. But yeah, we've got cows and pigs. I did that in reverse. Pigs and cows. Obviously, at the beginning, we just had regular cows, but because Spring to Life came this year, which is crazy to think about, we've had these for almost a year. That's insane to think about, honestly. I added two versions of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, honestly, it is insane to think about that these variants came this year. We've got the upstairs as well, which is purely storage. Do I even have? Not really. But yeah, it's quite cozy. Quite cool. The horse stable, I think this is still one of my favourite structures. I need to get rid of you, actually. I know why you're here. One of these was my first horse. I think you were. You were. You were. You were. Yeah, I remember. donkey as well. I really like this. I think this was the first structure where I was like, holy shit. I can actually build. Yeah, it's a horse stable. Not much to say about it, really. And then this is a little rabbit area, because I love rabbits. It was originally very small, like up until like here, and I just expanded it because why not, right? I'm gonna get more rabbits, I think. Yeah, quite nice. And then this is my actual sheep farm. Did I have? I did. It was an automatic wool farm. I had an automatic wool farm that was very good, don't get me wrong. But, again, didn't make any sense and had to go because it just looked bad and the village was starting to form and I was like, it has to go. So I think I went out, I think I had a lot of wool originally and then didn't make a wool farm or sheep enclosure for a long time. And then came up with this, which is something I've always wanted to build. And I had a lot of fun making this, I think. Recently I did this as well. This was a few months ago. So I basically have I have a double chest full of every wool color, which is actually a lot of wool. And it's kept me going for a while. And it's the only place I've got a beacon because jump boost. Only place I've got a beacon for now, at least. We'll come back to that. This is actually, honestly, it could be a very, like, fairly old build now. In the grand scheme of things, this is actually an old build. But that's terrifying to think about. So, for context, this part of Lightbourne originally was a mountain and a tree farm. The tree farm, there's an empty gap there. Where? See, you saying there, it doesn't really help, but I will probably find it eventually. On the coast. Here. But yeah, the tree farm. Oh, this area corner is going to be the radio tower. I've already decided, so don't worry about that. But I had a tree farm here, and it's basically the traditional tree farm I normally have in every world. It was just a little plot of land, and I had trees everywhere because it was just there for wood, right? It didn't look good at all, but it worked. It worked because I needed wood at the time, and being in a forest, I don't have that much access to a lot of the woods, right? So then the world started growing and growing, and I thought to myself, I can't have this anymore. For it to make sense, like, because I had this vision of the Lightbourne Tower and the houses, and this entire area, I'm telling you, would have not existed. The barn, the houses, the music store, which we'll obviously look into because we haven't yet. None of it would have existed at all because the tree farm was that big, right? I just full screen my stream. It was that big, right? And had to go. It just had to. So I have a tree farm still, but it's somewhere on average you won't ever see, right? And in place of that, we have some. I just threw a firework on the ground, littering. if I'm being spammed with DMs. In place of that, I made this. I think we're better off. I think. I think that's safe to say. Now the horse, what the hell? The horse racing track. Horse racing is you're being scammed. No, I'm not being scammed. It's about something else. Don't worry. Yeah, I do need to put torches up here. You're right. Horse racing is a big thing in Lightborn because stable, right? It's a huge stable. And it's also just to practice your horse's ability. So I made that little area. Little stadium. I was going to build a football stadium. I may still build a football stadium. Honestly, we'll see. But I got to build like a arena as well, like a jousting arena. So that might come first. That'd be massive. Yeah, my brother, when he used to play Minecraft, made one. And I remember as a kid, I'd watch him make it, and it was really inspiring to see because it looked sick. Um, but yeah, I think it's quite nice. So those are the quote-unquote older structures. There's a lot of other new structures we haven't looked at. But we gotta go over there. So we'll do that first. But also, here's the blacksmith. I believe I had a previous blacksmith, but it didn't look good. I can't remember. Did I have a blacksmith before? I'm not sure. Maybe I did. But anyway, we've got this, which has the mace, which is quite interesting. Heavy core as well. I did build this on stream. This is when I took streaming a little bit more seriously, I think. And yeah, this was like one of the first builds I built on stream. I remember. I think it looks fine, right? I think it looks okay. But is that all the older structures on this part of the village? I think it is, right? We'll come back to it if there isn't, if there's one we're missing. This area is almost entirely all old structures. So greenhouse. This is an old structure, and I remember making this and being enamored by it. So let's go in. I still really like being here. It's got all the flowers and stuff, which is very nice. Or has it got all the flowers? No, it's not all got. I don't think it's got all the flowers, but it's got most of them. If you ever change your structures, this would be greenwood. If greenwood ever came out, this would be greenwood. So take away the spruce and imagine like azalea wood. And to compensate the green, it'd be deep slate as well. So yeah, this structure would change overnight. But I quite like it. You know, it's cozy. I added the firefly bush when they came out, obviously, because they didn't come out. They weren't out when I made this. There we go, grass block. A sheep walked in here, I'm guessing. Yeah, so the vines as well are actually sheared, so they're not going to grow any further, which was a newer addition to Bedrock this year. Very underrated feature, may I add. But that's why it's not overgrown. Pale moss doesn't grow by itself, obviously. Or the pale vines, I mean. Did I get these straight away? I feel like I didn't get the pale stuff straight away. I'm not sure though. But obviously you got the glowberries, the vines. It's nice. And then obviously below is where I've got the redstone area. A lot of these like farms carried me because of what they are, right? So we've got lava farms, cacti farm, sea pickle farm, bush farm, chorus fruit farm, newest one of these, dripstone farm. Really cool. That's interesting. Yeah. Mud to clay, and then we've got what is this? Clay farm, I think, or mud farm. Yeah, my greenhouse is old. It is one of the oldest buildings. Flower farm, which I made in my old world, very good. Again, one of the farms everyone should have in their world because you'll never run out of flowers again. Sugarcane, obviously zero tick doesn't exist anymore, I don't think, so this is what we're left with. Pale Garden, yeah, Pale Garden was last December, yeah. And this is my tree farm. So it's quite different, but it accompanies every single tree type for now. Next year, I do think there'll be a new wood type. Zero tick was in Bedrock originally, yeah. It was removed. For now, this holds every single tree type. We'll see if that changes next year because who knows what tree type, like what the next tree will look like. But this should accommodate it because it's wide enough and tall enough. And we've got two separate farms as well. We've got azalea because of the rooted dirt, and we've got a little cocoa bean farm, which we did have outside by the bunny enclosure, the rabbit enclosure. Sorry, that was the reason why the rabbit enclosure was so small. Because we had a cocoa bean farm next to it, and then we moved it and then made that bigger. But yeah, I do think there'll be a new tree type next year, so who knows? Maybe this time next year when I do another year in review, we'll talk about that and talk about how funny it was that I mentioned it this year. I personally want azalea wood, so I don't want a new tree type, I just want azalea wood. But that's just me. The bee habitat, it's just a cozy area, right? I love this. It's like, a lot of the buildings, I've not spoken about this, a lot of the buildings I like to just sit in, you know, and just vibe, right? But the sounds, like campfire sounds, the bee sounds, I just really enjoy. So it's very therapeutic for me personally. I don't know if other people feel like this, but for me personally, I enjoy these sounds. So, plus it's a nice design. They use moss as a roof. Am I crazy? Green glass as well. Yellow glass. Okay, so this was the building where I was like, I want to make a building with every type of glass color. We still haven't done that yet, fun fact. Is there much to say about this? There is a structure behind it we should probably talk about. Fisherman's house. It's okay. It's not like one of my favourite. I mean, I like the fish tank. It's not one of my favourite builds, but, you know. It's quite nice. There was a massive hook here ages ago that was supposed to signify you taking in fish. That was before I made that. little harbour. I say little, huge harbour. um, we're gonna have our own section dedicated to the ocean stuff because there's a lot to talk about there. But the fisherman's house, I also have a screenshot of. That's like day 1000 and like 500, I think, roughly. Yeah, I like how it's raised too. It's quite nice. There is another build as well in this area, but we're doing old stuff first. And fun fact, this is the last old one. This this structure started off a sub building or sub law in this world, and it's research facilities. I always wanted to build this when Amethyst came out. I think Amethyst is so interesting, but in my opinion, wasted. And I don't know. It looks cool. We've done second ever VOD. We do have that, don't we? Has copper as well because I wanted to, copper, calcite, amethyst, all in the same update, right? I love it. I still love it. It holds a very special place in my heart for some reason. But it started what was a new era of research labs. And then down here you've got a small little area that leads you to a few of the nearest amethyst geodes. So you can go mining there whenever you want to. It's completely safe and stuff. It's quite nice. But yeah. This is the most unique build I think I have. I think I can say that. Other than probably the Deep Dark Ancient City research facility, this is probably the most unique build I've ever made. And I'm being killed whilst drinking. But yeah. That kind of ends, actually. No, it doesn't. Am I allowed to discriminate against children now? I mean, I'd still say 18-year-olds are still kids. I think 20-year-olds are kids, to be honest. But I'm 25, so I'm like unk. This mine is, fun fact, pre 1,000 days, I think. Oh my god, thank god I turned around. Also in this mountain had the old Amethyst Research Facility, which looked completely dogshit and actually is still there. Fun fact. I just covered it up. But yeah, this was a build from my old world that is still standing, actually. Is this the only build from my old world that's still standing? The idea was I wanted to, originally, if anyone's ever watched Filza in one of his old hardcore worlds had a mob mine, whatever it was called, and I took inspiration from that. And originally, there were mobs here. Skeletons, zombies, baby zombie, and stuff like that. Now that this world is permanently in hard mode because of the water facility, I might add mobs here. Maybe. But there's something really special here. This wasn't the first mine I made. I started off with a stereotypical strip mine, obviously, but then it became this, and Deep Slate Emerald, one of the rarest ores in the game. Unless they add a new cave biome, this is still a good build. Yeah. If they added a new cave biome, I would just have to. I don't think that's how that should work, but it's okay. Um, if they add a new cave biome, all I've got to figure out is the Y level that spawns. Like if it spawns here, I can just add it at this Y level. But nothing really special, right? I don't go mining much, especially in this area, so Deep Slate Coal as well. I love Deep Slate Coal. I want a new vibrant biome for spring. I wouldn't mind a new biome as well. I think a new biome is likely. And day 3000 you did a seed reveal. Yeah, we'll do another one. If you don't know what the seed is of this world, that's it. That's the seed. 4 chunks, is that right? We do play in 4 chunks, don't we? Obviously there's no cheats, not hardcore mode. Although it kind of does. So that's it for the world tour. No, I'm kidding. We've got so much to look at, man. Oh my god. Those are like the older buildings, right? Those are the old buildings. Everything now is fairly recent. And we're not going to go in any particular order, really. So, whilst we're here, one of my favourite areas to be in, because this is one of my favourite mobs. I knew I had to build this. As soon as I heard about this, like the Happy Gas, I knew I had to build this. A Happy Gas runway. In case you ever wondered, by the way, the V is Roman numeral 5 because Happy Gas go 5 blocks a second. So, yeah, there's that. I really like this. You guys know how I feel about Happy Casts, so again, it was for me. It was like still having casts in the overworld was still so crazy to me. Like it was so uncanny. So this was just amazing to me. Obviously, when I initially made this, I couldn't use it because of the way Happy Casts were when they first came out. So for like a month or two, all 3 casts were here. Something I hate in Bedrock is when you get advancements in your world. When you add add-ons, you stop getting advancements. There are some add-ons that give you advancements still. Since we're here, mining area. So I did add more to this area. It's quite nice. We've got a little miner's house. I want to do more of this place. I do. I want to do more interior work on here. So that's something to think about. I'd say it's modern slight. I mean, this is pushing it. But this is like between old and modern, in my opinion. Pottery area as well. I just noticed something. Never mind, I don't have it in this chest. Do I have it in any of these chests? Wait a minute. Yes, okay, good. Really? There's no way. That doesn't look right. Maybe it's waxed. I think it's waxed. Hmm. I'll figure it out. But yeah, this is a nice area. I don't go here much, yeah. There's no real need to, right? It's just an aesthetic build. All the pottery sherds I don't have all of them, fun fact. Because I don't know how to get all of them. Uh, but the majority of them, right? Yeah, it's quite nice. This area, the aquarium, I loved building this. So obviously it takes inspiration from the Guardians and the Ocean Monument. Obviously, the I did not make a lamp here. That's something to note. Okay, I've got to remember that. Um, but yeah, I quite like this. Originally, it was fish and axolotls. So I got the blue axolotl very early on. There you see it there. Very early on in this world, and I got very lucky. So I originally had it in a chest for the longest time. I had a chest monster before, like the storage system I have was not there from the beginning of my first house. It took a while for me to build that. For the longest time, I just had a chest monster, and these axolotls were part of that. They were like in the valuables chest, really. It was like the diamonds and stuff. And then as I made the vaults, I didn't have a place to put these, so it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get these. A lot of time, I mean, and the fish are the annoying part. But now it's just their enclosure, right? Now it's just an axolotl aquarium, which is quite nice. So we talked about two of the biggest structures. Let's talk about the other two. The London Big Ben or Lightbourne Tower actually had some changes recently. So you'll notice there's light here. You won't like at night is when you'll notice the difference, but this was very dark at night because there was no light here. Now there is. It's as simple as that. Now there's light. There's also seating areas as well, so you can sit and chill. Yeah, I had a lot of fun building this. It took a lot of resources, but I had a lot of fun building this. And then this came afterwards, I think. This little area. Obviously, there's nothing really in Lightbourne Tower except, wait a minute, there is. You can see the interior. You can see this. Big Mike was made during April. Really? April. And you've got a little notes, which we'll see. We'll see. And the other landmark as well. God, this took forever. This took. Luckily, I have a creative world that I built this on, or like had a rough design. Um, this took so long. I had to remake this twice because obviously there's this the one you're seeing and then there's one behind it. Um, yeah, I'm happy with this. Do I need to do more in this little area? Yes. I've got a little idea, but for now, it does its purpose, right? I didn't talk about this actually. The bridges were made this year. So these three bridges were different, completely different. They had like a overhang, and one was birch, one, and then the other two were like spruce. Essentially, they looked awful. And I one day was like, again, they do not fit Lighterborn anymore, so time to change. Goodbye. And yeah, now they're this, which infinitely better, by the way, infinitely better. The sniffer enclosure, why not? So the sniffer enclosure is actually from day 1500. It's just not this sniffer enclosure. By the stable, the horse stable that you see over there, I had the sniffer enclosure, and don't get me wrong, it looked good. I still liked it, but the problem was it didn't fit anymore because there's too many houses in the area, and it didn't make any sense really, right? So I wanted to remake it, and I also wanted to. I also wanted to. Wait a minute, what? Okay, no, I'm stupid. Never mind. I wanted to make an area where I can also farm sniffer seeds, because I want a lot of the sniffer is my favorite mob, and I also love the flowers. I just want a lot of them, right? And I'll show you how many I have now, because it's a lot more. And I'm gonna throw that away, but keep note of that. I'm really happy with this. It's actually one of my favourite builds. Fun fact, because it's sniffers, so of course it's gonna be my favourite build. But I did fly to this area, so let's actually walk to it. So these bridges are basically the same as the other three bridges I just showed you. The only difference is they are overgrown. Because sniffers. Wise bot got to that bot first. Bot on bot violence. It's crazy. And here's the tree. This will be. You'll notice the Christmas tree is gone now. This will be the future Christmas tree that we use. So next year we'll light this up with candles and stuff. And obviously this is a storage area. But yeah, I love this. Again, it's super cozy. I need to do a little bit here, I think, but I'm not sure what. So we'll see. My favourite build, though. This may surprise some people. It's this entire area. It just is. I love this entire area so much. I had so much fun designing this. And it came out very, very well. I remember building that first, and it looked so good. So this is my animal sanctuary. it has 6 little pods and a few other areas that we'll get into. And you made this area like a week after I built. I built a build with the same blocks. Really? People said I did with my library. I stole your hotel. I did. Dude, what? Who cares if like our builds look the same? It's so fucking cringe. So let's go in this area one by one, shall we? Camels, I think. These, for the most part, are all animals that took ages to get. By the way, because I'm not anywhere near a jungle or savannah biome or mushroom island. So camels, and you'll notice as well, Camel Husk, the latest edition. What's up, buddy? Yeah, really nice. Really nice. And they all kind of follow the... They don't have a name yet, no. They all kind of follow the same structure, you'll notice. Just different block palettes. And over here... This was, I think, the first... This was like... When this animal was added was when I first wanted to make something like this in our Minecraft world. Armadillos. The mob I voted for, by the way. Fun fact. The Minecraft roots were actually foreshadowing. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. It actually makes sense that they're there. And then if you want to access the other areas, you have to access the main area. This took forever because I had to write 4 different books, which is not easy on the controller. But I mean, this place is just magical. What more can I say about this area? How do we get to... Okay, good. We've got the mushroom island area for the mushrooms. One of them needs to be a brown mushroom, actually. But yeah. Probably made you order 1.21.20, yeah. So this was like the hardest area to make because obviously there's not much in the Mushroom Island. So it's purely just mushrooms. It's all it is. But yeah, I think it's okay. I love mushrooms, so I wanted them in Lightborn no matter what. And then obviously you gotta go to the opposite area. You'll notice there's no animal enclosures here yet. We'll figure something out. These areas, oh, this was... These areas were good, I think. Do you ever think you make a fog enclosure? Yeah, I have to be very careful though with the bug. So, panda enclosure, you'll notice as well. Fudge, brown panda. Honestly, did this take longer than the blue axolotl? I think it did. I think it actually did. We've got Smudge, we've got Penny, we've got Fudge. Smudge and Fudge, I did not even know that rhymed. I genuinely didn't know that rhymed. That's crazy. I like this. I mean, I like pale wood and the black glass. Looks like there's an open ceiling, so... And in this area... Do we have foxes? Oh, we do, but they're not in this area, are they? Yeah. How's your Christmas? It was okay, crafty. I tend to, in terms of Christmas and stuff, I tend to not really, say oh, it was terrible or it was. Well, I mean, I think I did. But I don't want to complain about my Christmas because there's a lot less fortunate people out there, and at the end of the day, I still was able to have presents, have Christmas dinner, and was able to like relax. And not everyone in the world can have that um, gift and privilege. So, you know, but yeah, I was grateful that I had at least a Christmas. A lot of people didn't, which is why I said in my tweet, it's a time to be what's it called, thoughtful of those that are less fortunate than you are. This is actually really good. The hell? We've got little ocelots. I think they're named after Lion King lions. Yeah. I'm not even a big like Lion King fan. I just had to name them after Lion King characters because I just had to. Um, so a big thing that's bonked my mic. A big thing about Lightborn is that it takes in animals from every place, and it's taken in a lot of skeleton horses because we love skeleton horses. Um, and it's also taken regular horses as well. These aren't like racing horses, these are like protected horses. So I don't think they're overpopulated. There's not gonna be any more skeleton horses in here, but they're not overpopulated. Um who knows, we may need to game end some of these horses over there and then who knows. But this is one of the newest builds, so this is actually pretty relevant. The zombie horse enclosure. We have three. I didn't know we had three. I love zombie horses. So, probably as much as skeleton horses, I'm going to be honest with you. Very similar to the other stable, horse stable. Very similar, actually. Just different wood types. What are they called? So they do have names. The first one, lettuce. We have olive. And we have sprout. And they all have Neverite horse armor, obviously. But yeah, I love, like, I knew I had to get zombie horses. So basically, the animal enclosure is no longer just these little blobs. It's the entire area. So this place is going to have animals. This place will have animals. This will have animals. I mean, maybe. This place will have, like, there's a ton of areas. I might even move the rabbits, honestly. I might. The chicken coop is there. Yeah, the chicken coop could go there, actually. Free range? Yeah, I'd have to figure out how to build free range stuff, though. Well, actually, no, we got a free range horse area, right? That is a free range area. Um, but yeah. I'd say the horse that is free range. I'd say. This is probably one of the weaker areas. Not that it's bad. I don't think there's any bad build in Lightborn. But definitely one of the weaker areas. Music shop, we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. It's unique because again, I didn't know how to build this. It's my shooting practice range area. So you can customize your weapons. You can practice. I used this, I designed this in the creative world, I think. So, yeah, you can practice with bows and arrows, you can practice with crossbows, you can practice with, I believe, snowballs and tridents. Did you put a flame book in there? No, you can't use... For the practice range, you can't use flame. No, we're not... I don't think... Wait, let me just make sure I'm... For the practice range, you can use flame. You can use flame. Okay. Trimmed armor trim display. This was another build I struggled with. Again, another build I built in creative. In a creative copy, I mean. Every single armor trim with never armor. This took forever. Because it's not just, you just noticed there, it's not just the armored armor trims, it is 4 of each additional ones. Which was, fun fact, well, except for 2. Fun fact, fucking expensive. But I think it looks really nice. Mojang play. Well, in the off chance they add more, there are, you know, 6 other places they can be put. So I'm not worried. Unless they add 12 in one drop, which if they do, I'm probably uninstalling the game, to be honest with you. But let's go into the music shop again. Another build I struggled with. A theme here. The newer builds I struggled with a lot. But I think they came out pretty well. It says I built this in creative as well, in creative copy, or creative build world. Every single music disc here, like my house, but twice. Even has tears. Doesn't have lava chicken because I'm not putting lava chicken here. It's not happening. Okay, we're not doing this. We're not. No, we're not. No. Guitars, in case you want to play the guitar. Fucking expensive guitar. Drum kits. Because why not? We like to play drums here. Little keyboard piano. Quite nice. Just a little cozy area, right? It's quite nice. Got little note blocks. These are like not the most, I'm sure, not the most unique sounds, but sounds I really like. So, yeah, the one drum kit inaccuracy is that you can't play the actual drum kit, but that's for future civilizations to figure out. So, I don't give a fuck. Statues. So we've kind of gone in a bit of a craze recently. Let's look in the hotel there. The dragon egg statue. Where did I have the egg before? I think I just had it in a chest. I think I did. And I knew I wanted to build something of the egg, but I didn't know what. And this is perfect. in my opinion. Unless the egg hatches on obsidian, we're fine. We're good. In my previous world, I put it in the end. In my end build, the Ministry of the End build. I might add coal to this actually. But yeah, I used a tutorial for this, obviously. I switched over the blocks though, so we're using crying obsidian and water, not lava like the tutorial had, because I didn't want lava. We also used a tutorial for this. So progress, like 3 blocks have changed, 1 state. So if you're worried about, oh, this will take, this will grow pretty quickly, it will not. This will take years. Unless I sat here every single day for the next 6 months, AFK, and didn't go to my farms or whatever to AFK, which isn't going to happen, this is going to stay the same. Like, this is going to take forever, sorry, to develop. Which is fine. I want it to be that way. But we've got a book. So, again, more reading. Okay. So what, we'll do this next. The harbour. So originally, for the longest time, the harbour technically is one of the oldest builds because it had 1 dock. I believe it was here, and it just didn't look good. I remember someone came into my stream one time and was like, "Can you like make it wrap around the entire coast of Lightbourne?" Basically, is what he said. Like wrap around the entire area. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? The dock is one of the oldest, but the dock did not look like this. So, this is probably one of my favourite, probably my second favourite build. Is it a build? I guess. It adds so much to Lightbourne, and I'm super proud of it. We've got ships, we've got a little house, you can like rent out a boat or a ship as well. Got little places to relax, got little storage areas, docking areas. You got shops. It's just really nice. It's just really nice. So whilst we're here, let me get some more fireworks. Should make a boat school. We could do that, yeah. I need to write down a list of things I need to build. Running out of ender chests. Yeah. This build, one of the newest builds. Fun fact, aquatic research facility. I like it, it's different, and that's the goal of research facilities. The research facilities are all meant to look weird and different. So when you see the Pearl Garden one, it will also look weird and different, and nothing like the other research facilities. So we have a Nautilus area with all the Nautilus... Bro. Why are you spinning? Normally it's... Olive. Wait. Oh, we've got 2 olives. I knew we had... Okay. Maybe it's... Actually, is 2 olives not bad? I don't think it's that bad. Um, but yeah. To bring an eye motif. Hmm. What design it around? We could design it around a flower, like a blooming. Let me note this down. Write this down. Write this down. Um. Okay. But yeah, all the Nautilus variants, very cool. And if we wanted to, if I can, there we go. We've got a little tube, tiny little tube. Would it be like an eye that's eye-shaped, or the creaking like player eye-shaped though? Like imagine, we're going off topic from the tour, but imagine like this, but like cut down to just one of these, and this is just like an eye. And this has like a pale garden tree. So honestly, this could be very like the next research facility could look like this. The other facility now, the other facility does not have or does have a minecart that goes a long time. We're not going to take it because it takes a long time to get there and back. But just know that we have a warden trapped. So there's that. But yeah, this takes every single part of the Deep Dark for now. If they do something with the portal, then I don't know what to do. But for now, this is everything in the Deep Dark and Ancient City. There's no bother. I mean, we're ending stream soon anyway. But yeah, books, dude, this took, again, the books is so painful to write, but it's worth it. Little rendition of the portal here. Oh, actually, yeah. No, we've got the portal here. Probably, what's this book about? I'll make another book if if the portal's lit and talk about it. But yeah, this was a hard build to make. Originally had skulk catalysts on the like rim of the build, and it didn't work well. I've actually recently added more lanterns because mobs kept spawning, and I think we're good. If that's the reason why there's mobs in the portal, I don't think it is, but we can. Actually, wait, no. Let's talk about this. So the only farm well, there's two farms we'll talk about, but this is our guardian farm. This has stayed for a long time. We've got rockets, we're fine. We did have another farm in the ocean as well for I want to say a couple thousand days. It was like an overall mob farm, and I think it was like there, and became an eyesore. The funny thing is I was like, there. I came out of my house and saw the mob farm, and it looks terrible. I was like, it looks like an eyesore. Let me destroy it, right? The eyesore was gone, but shortly afterwards, I made more houses. So there's like houses in my way. So, they're not in my way. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's just kind of funny. It just looked terrible. But yeah, Guardian Farm, half of it works, half of it doesn't. I'm not bothered by it, honestly. But you may see these little towers. There's 4 of them in the ocean. These are little Happycast towers that you can dock your Happycast and just chill for a little bit. You can sleep. You can eat some food. You can craft some harnesses if you want to. You can play some music. No, I really hated the old bridge design. It didn't look good at all. But what we will, I rarely. The thing about the Deep Dark thing is we've already done it once or twice, and it's very long. This one isn't very long, and we've not done it much. So let's do it. This is a build I've wanted to do for a long time. So context, in my previous world, I made we'll just go. I made a water tube, and it broke my world. Corrupted it completely. So when I started this, I was shit scared because I thought making this would brick my world. I know why it was bricked, so that's fine. The world was bricked. The hell? Okay, I guess we're going back. I guess we'll talk about the lore of that world. So, in my old world, there was terrain because this world was like 1.14 basically. Yeah, I know we're going home. We'll just do a little bit of lore before we talk about this tube. For some reason, ocean terrain was broken back then. When it transitioned to the cave update, it was broken. And building in it broke your world, and it broke mine. Corrupted it, I could never play it again, right? Didn't make a water tube in my previous world because of that very same thing. How is it broken? The water was just different, like it was a different texture, and it was just corrupted terrain under, like you know how this chunk... No. Wait. Okay, we're good. There was chunk areas underwater that were not like the chunk areas you see now. That are harmless, like little air pockets, right? Because you can build in the air pocket area and be fine. Piss! Oh my god. Hang on, I'm messing up. Were they on terrain? There was terrain below it, yeah. But, do you have a second minecart? I do. But yeah, it was just broken. So I didn't make one in my previous world because of that. I was terrified. I don't think that world was affected by cave update terrain, but... yeah, it was trash. So I made this in this world, and I was so terrified. This is my gold farm, by the way. Probably, again, we talk about the villager trading hall as my backbone. This is definitely the backbone, undisputed, to the world. Having a lot of gold saves a lot of it just helps me a lot, right? Yeah, there are horses. We'll get those horses eventually. Now, this underwater tube isn't just here for the shits and giggles. It actually leads to somewhere. And if, fun fact, there is a cold biome content drop that introduces new animals, this will actually be useful, even more useful. This took forever though. I had to get a lot of glass. I had to figure out where I wanted, like how I wanted to do the rails, and I had to dry all the water out, which took so long. but also so worth it at the same time. Has he not gone insane? I think I did it in phases. This is... Sorry, it's important here. I talked about my previous world having a lot of villages. This isn't another village. This is a Lightborn camp. It's basically a research area for Lightborn to conduct on the climate and a certain white bear and also foxes. Wait, do I not have... Where are my fox? Do I not have a fox? No, I must have a fox enclosure. Oh no, it's in Animal Sanctuary, right? It is. No, it's in Animal Sanctuary. I just didn't go in the area. So yeah, it is connected to Lightborn. There's just certain people that are... Well, their job, basically, is to do research in the cold biomes. And this is their little camp. So let me close these. We've got little polar bears that kill me, apparently. So there's a fishing pond. We've got Bruce that's perpetually mad at me for some reason. And we've got Douglas. Must be a baby nearby? Yeah, probably. And there's the igloo. Pretty cool. I like building igloos, so... But this wall design is, again... This is how I designed my old animal sanctuaries in my old world. It's actually in a screenshot of my old world that I've shared. So... Technically, another build from my old world. But, like you say, Corn, it's in huge moderation. I don't think I'm ever going to use this style again. But I just thought, why not? Like, it fits, I think. So we've got a little camp. And yeah, it's cozy, right? It's cozy. Got a little fishing area. Got a little tower. I say little. Got a big tower. Lodestone here because there is a... in the harbour house, there's a few compasses that will lead to certain areas of the map that are far away. Yeah, I remember doing that. I remember... Sorry for bumping my mic. I remember spawning a warden here in creative. You didn't know that? Yeah, we'll go in the house, actually, in the harbour. So we didn't do that. And we'll fly back. There is a minecart somewhere there. I'm not worried. It's fine. If it despawns, it despawns. Little iron farm. It's okay. It does its job. It's what it is. And yeah. So here as well, we've got the coral field. A very new build. I wouldn't class this as a build, but a lot of this is now coral-ified. We've got to do a little bit more, I think, or do we? No, it's all done. Yeah, it's all done. Awesome. If in the future this area has houses or whatever, then we add more coral. But for now, it's done. It's a forever continuing project. Yeah, if the coast continues with builds, so does the coral field. Yeah. But going back to the harbour house, because we didn't go in here. It's very similar to the bakery and how it's designed. Oh, the compasses are invisible as well. But yeah, so we've got 3 compasses for now. Lightborn Lighthouse, Lightborn Camp, and End Portal. I will show off briefly the fox enclosure because we didn't do that. The fox enclosure does have a special place in my heart because of a fox I named there. So I've probably got the most attachment to the fox area, honestly. I love all the areas, but where is she? Yeah. Every time I see that fucking name, man. Yeah, they're tamed. The ocelots are tamed as well. So are the Arctic foxes. Yeah, so the story, I'll talk about the story, I guess, because I made a point of it. Michaela was a YouTuber under the name Save a Fox, who had like animal sanctuaries and stuff, so inspiration there. But also was just a huge fox fan, and she was bullied online a lot. I believe a lot of people compared her enclosure to others, and was saying yours is shit, you know, you're shit, and all that kind of stuff. And she took her own life this year. And I remember watching her shorts, and the energy she had with her foxes was just something I'll never be able to replicate with any animal. And I was like, as soon as I get a fox, I'm naming after her. So every time because I've showed like people, like IRL people, that area, and I've always gotten upset about it. But yeah, back here, we've got a little potion. I don't know why I said potion, because I think purple. Little effect here, the fog effect. It's got like lava, you can kind of see it if you squint. If you ever wondered what this looks like on the outside, by the way. Not as good. Not as good. And we do, however, though, have this. Why is this? Oh, that's going to bother me. Hang on. No, I won't ever do an extra design. There's no point. We're on the nether roof on bedrock. Look at that. There was a glitch earlier this year, I believe. Should leave your world up there. I'm not going to do that. I don't think. I'm not going to do that. We can't do anything with it, but there's that. And then we have probably the last thing. The second last thing. The Nether Highways. So we've got this mostly leads to farms. I'm going to be honest with you. It mostly leads to farms. I'm going to show off the end portal area, and then we're going to end stream, yeah. I just shot a couple of... Oh, we didn't, did we? Oh, no. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, yeah. And then we'll end off with the lighthouse, like we normally do. We do normally have boats, but boats are bugged on Bedrock right now, so we're just going to do this. So over there, we've got a ghast farm, which is, ever since we destroyed our previous mob farm, we didn't have any, we were getting gunpowder. The ghast farm does better with our gunpowder, so, and we get ghast tears, so we get 2 drops. But in this build, this is the stronghold, but endified. That's a word. There's nothing too special. It's a random mangrove boat. Yeah. Nothing too special. Show off the end portal builds. I didn't mean to do that. Why did I do that? Wait. We'll be at spawn. The one in the end itself. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It took a while to get these because I didn't do enough end city raiding, so I had to do more to get these, but I think this looks pretty nice. And we made that before we killed the dragon. In terms of the end, we have a few things. Enderman Farm, which I realised is now inefficient because spears. But I think it's still okay. Why is this missing? But yeah, it's okay. Again, having an Ender farm is always good. It's like Enderman farms compared to Java farms, like Bedrock farms compared to Java farms. Enderman wise are terrible, but they're still okay. And here, I don't know if you can. Well, actually, let me not fly into a block. Look at these. So I originally wanted to put a circle, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. So we done this instead. I think this is better. I mean, we did a circle in my previous world, so it's always nice to do something different. So in the future, maybe next year, when we come to the end next year, this time next year, this will look different. Who knows? But in terms of like other stuff, for now, we've got this. Shulker Farm. And just like other resources, I guess. Do I need to take any of these back? No, actually, we keep those there. Just in case, yeah, just in case we keep these there. Something tells me you'll do the end build around the middle of next year. We could do. It all depends. It all like we never like. If there's something to build with the summer drop, then that might take priority. Who knows? Because with every drop we have a new build idea, and we still haven't done the builds with Mounts of Mayhem because we've got to build the Colosseum. So, and that will take a while. Even to get to, not even to build, but to get to the Colosseum build. Oh, here's a pawn. Hello. But yeah, 0-0 is literally in the hotel. It's kind of funny. So, one little area to go. The LA and Copper Golem area. I want to do more. Here. I do want to do more. Gonna hit Happy Cast as well. Got an LA. Always cool. But yeah, I think it's quite cool. Only one they're lonely? Yeah, there'll be more there, don't worry. This was like I remember building this like a week before the Copper Age came out. I wanted to build something, because I didn't have the Copper Golem statue planned, and I didn't think I had any build planned. And I wanted to incorporate Copper Golems. Ever since then, I wanted to incorporate Copper Golems. I did have a factory farm, yeah. Factory planned, sorry. Not farm. Factory planned, yeah. more skeleton horses on the way. I hope not. Um, but yeah, we're gonna walk away in case there's like creepers that spawn. But apart from that, I mean, you got farms, but you know, it's fine. I'm sure we can live without those. Um, that's the world. That is the world at. That'll direct the. I want to see the hole you have in the desert where you breed it rabbits. Yeah, and I had the axolotl pen. Yeah, I don't know about that. Apart from that, the forests as well are completely like that forest is spent in terms of like big trees. There's an island over there that'll become very prevalent soon, so look forward to that. Um, in terms of the future, we have a lot of builds planned. I do not anticipate that I will change worlds. I do get asked from occasion, like if I'll ever start a new world. I don't think I will. I've still got plenty of ideas for Minecraftia and more broadly Lightborn. And we'll see. We'll see where we end up in a year's time. Will any of this change? Who knows? You know, I think next year could be the year of branching out. Because this year was more redesigning and getting our foot in the ground, I think. Um, do you remember I know how to create, and how to enable. Yeah, that's fine. Um, Luckily, we've not had that issue yet, so that's always good. But yeah, a lot of this, not all of it, but a lot of this we did stream on Twitch. So in that instance, I want to thank you guys for watching the world grow with me, because you know, again, I do a lot of it off stream, obviously, but you know, there are some things I do on stream, and it's important to share. I think the experience of you guys, and the world's grown as I've grown, right, and as the channel's grown and stuff like that. So it's a very good reminder, and it's very nostalgic to look back on because a lot of this wasn't here this time last year. Almost like 90% of this, 95% of this was not here last year, and that's crazy to think about. And it's also crazy to think about what will happen this time next year. You know, with that though, this was the last stream of the year. Um, Now you're on Minecraft Encyclopedia. I am too. I am too. I've got so much information drilled into me about this. But you want to get 105k channel points? 5 more minutes, please. Well, it depends how long I take to talk about this, or to finish out the stream. Um, I'm gonna do like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But yeah, obviously this is my last stream of the year, so I thank you guys for watching this entire year. We streamed a fair amount. I do want to try. I'm not gonna overpromise because I'm. Is Leo awake? No, he's not. I'm just imagining things. Um, I don't want to overpromise stuff because who knows. Um, this will not be the last stream of all time. This will be the last stream of the year. Uh, the first stream of the year very well could be if Mojang tease the next drop. So, which who knows, right? I hope they do because they did very well teasing the spring drop this year. But yeah, we'll see how we end up next year. You know, on Twitch if we've grown at all. We have grown today, this year. We got affiliate, right? Which is pretty insane. Previous coming out on 6th or 7th. Yeah. So we'll see what they're cooking, and who knows? Maybe I'll have a build. I probably won't have a build. Um, I may have like the lampposts done because there's lampposts I need to finish off, like uh, this area, basically this area and that area need lampposts. You have 165 followers. You had like 30 to 40 when I found you. Yeah. Um. So yeah, I wanted to thank you guys for watching and supporting the stream wherever you watched, lurked, donated in any way, whatever it was. I appreciate everyone just for being here because it obviously means a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna like do a lot of mining off camera. I'm gonna have like a netherite beacon. We'll see how we do. Like if we have a netherite beacon next year, we'll probably have a display at least of all the beacons except netherite. Because we do need to put a display somewhere, like an altar. But obviously, the next prominent build isn't even in here, like in the village. It's on an island. So, yeah. I don't think I could. If I No, I don't think I could do a netherite beacon. I could do a huge chunk of it off stream, but not all of it. But yeah. What's next? Really? I mean, I want to build a radio tower. I want to build a like newspaper place. So like, you know how there's like, what's it called? Uh, Mailboxes. I want to have a place where there's actually like mail there, right? Because right now there's nowhere to get mail. Um, Post office, yeah. Um, Museum. I think would be really sick next year. Really sick next year. Castle preparation, maybe. End building, maybe. We're talking hypothetically in case like just like on the pretense of like there not being any new things to do in the drops, which will be like there will be old like new stuff to do. So there's going to be more animal sanctuaries to build always. So I look forward to see what animals we get to use and build places for. Um, I think next year we'll see the iceologer. So we'll have somewhere to talk about that. I think. Most of these builds, by the way, don't rely on new features. Exactly, yeah. Um, Prison is obviously the newest build, so that will be the build we start. I already have the cell designed. You guys saw that on the previous stream. But I need to build the actual structure, like a rough design. Oh, I knew like you had to get channel points, but I'm still talking anyway. I still like to yap. It's all good. If combat does get updated, a stadium of some kind might take priority. I'm not going to lie to you. Like a Coliseum might take priority. I want to build another trading hall, like I said earlier. What else? Another library would be nice. But we'll see. More research facilities, labs, I guess. Good luck with good luck with the new trading hall and how hard to design. It's going to be a lot similar to this one. The exterior will be different, but the interior will be very similar. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking. I've really taken up enough of your time, 2.5 hours in fact. So, thank you guys for watching the stream. I very much appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, drink some water, play some Minecraft, get ready for the next drop whenever it gets announced and teased and stuff, because I'm sure it'll be soon, unless John leaks it, which I'm very surprised he hasn't leaked it yet. Please continue that trend, John. Please don't leak the next drop, bro. Especially if it's combat related, just don't. I am glad he hasn't either, yeah. But, in any case, hope you guys have a good rest of the year. Hope you guys have a good New Year's. Obviously, I still will be online, right? I'm just not streaming, but I'll be on Twitter and Discord and stuff. Thank you guys for a wonderful 2025, and I hope to see you guys in 2026. So take care, and yeah, I'll see you next year. I also haven't showered since last year, isn't that crazy?